Nobody showed up with LeBron. Skip, I don't really know what else LeBron can do, Skip. 35 points on 14 and 19 shooting, 74%. He was perfect from the free throw line, shot 75% from the three. The rest of the starters scored 22 points, 8 of 39, 21% from the floor. And plus, they can't play defense. They can't guard anybody, Skip. It's simple as that. And when they run into quality teams that have winning record, the Memphises and the Nets and the Bucks, the Bulls, things of that nature, Skip, they lose. They're not a good team. The thing is that, look, when they put LeBron at the 5, yes, it gives them spacing. Yes, it gives them better scoring opportunities. But it gives them, the other team, unfettered access to the basket because there's no one to deter you from coming in said point. What, they give up 64 points in the paint last night? You're not winning like that, Skip. Look, I wish that I could give you, say, there's a magic pill, like there's a magic potion, there's a magic person out there. Skip, there's not. They're not a good team right now. LeBron is back in his Cleveland days, Skip, in this first time around in Cleveland. Because the second time around, he did have Kyrie, he did have Kevin Love. But he's Cleveland first time around. That's what this roster is. First time around.
Yeah, not Kyrie and Kevin Love.
No. Yeah. The second time when he had Kevin Love, he had Kyrie. He had some nice pieces. Weren't great, but Kevin Love and Kyrie, you could win. Hell, he give a half his salary to have a Kyrie and a Kevin Love currently. Skip, they're not any good, Skip. They're 3-and-team with the 10 best records. They can't defend. It's as simple as that, Skip. You get to the basket. When you come to help, they kick because nobody can stand in front of no one, and they get wide open threes. Skip, they gave up between the second and third quarter. They gave up 80 points. With about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they were shooting 60% from the floor. Yep. At one point, they were shooting 46% from the three.
Yep.
Skip, you're not beating nobody with somebody shooting 60% from the floor and 46% from the three. I don't care what unless you're shooting 70% from the floor and 50% from the three. But other than that, Skip, I'm looking at LeBron last night. I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, I don't know how he's doing what he's doing at his age, Skip. But ain't nobody else come to play last night.
Okay, so we did make a bet at the end of Friday's show, and you were feeling much better about your Lakers because they had won 4 in a row, and LeBron was playing at a MVP clip at that point, and he continued to play at that clip last night. So I accepted your offer, and then what do I find out on Saturday? Well, obviously I knew Memphis was going to have to play back-to-back at, what's it called now, the Crypt?
Yep.
It's the Crypt. Against the Clippers first. And what happens? Well, the one reason I accepted your bet was that Dillon Brooks had not been able to play in 2 of the first 3 games against the Lakers because this was the 4th meeting and the final meeting for the regular season.
Right.
Okay, so what happens to Dillon Brooks 7 minutes into the Clippers game? He badly turned his ankle stepping on a foot. It went all the way over, and it looked bad, and now they're saying 3 to 5 weeks he's gone.
Right.
Then COVID strikes, and all of a sudden, their big man, Steven Adams, for whom I have some respect and regard.
Oh, yeah.
He makes them a better, different kind of basketball team. He goes COVID. And Taylor Jenkins, their fine young coach, goes COVID. So all of a sudden, I tweeted before the game, I got snookered that you got me, okay? Because I thought, man, the way the Lakers are playing, if you take Dillon Brooks out of there again, that as great as Ja is, and as great as Desmond Bane is, I don't know. Because it seemed like the Lakers just had more firepower. And then this happened. So LeBron gets off to a good start, but it couldn't last because nobody went with him. So it reminded me of the quote that we reacted to, which was uttered the first week of this show, or actually it was at the Super Bowl our first year. We had just started in our first football season together. LeBron declared the second Cleveland team top-heavy as you know what, as bleep. And yet top-heavy was with Kyrie and Kevin Love, and he was actually taking what I thought was an unwarranted shot or like an ill-advised shot at the whole rest of the roster. Well, last night, they were weirdly top-heavy with only the guy in year 19, right? So if that guy who just turned 37 is all you got at the top, you're going to have no chance against a Memphis without Dillon Brooks and Steven Adams.
Right.
Because at least it allowed the Lakers to go small so LeBron could play the 5, which had been very successful for them. But all of a sudden, nobody comes along. And to your point, it starts with Russell Westbrook, who it was LeBron's idea. I need him to be my co-star. In a game like last night, you at least need him to be your second star, right? Well, look what he didn't do. He's 2 of 12, 0 of 1 from 3. Didn't turn it over at a high rate because he had no turnover. So it wasn't even a turnover game. It was just that LeBron had no help. So look at plus minus. LeBron is by far the worst. He's a minus 30 for the game, worst on obviously both teams. But it's because he's out there toiling away, putting up, as you said, 14 and 19. He makes 14 and 19, 3 or 4 from 3.
That's crazy.
I know, makes all his free throws. Still scores 35, has 9 and 7.
And he's doing what you asked him to do. You say, drive the ball, LeBron.
Yeah, he was.
He's driving the ball. He was great. Shooting the 3 ball, Skip. He's been great shooting the 3. I mean, Skip, what else can he do?
Okay. He can play defense, which he can't do right now.
No.
Okay.
Well, none of them can play defense.
Okay.
But at least LeBron can say, you know what, guys, I'm in year 19. Guys, when I was in year 8, when I was in year 10, I was in year 11,
yeah.
guys, I can sit in the chair.
Oh, could he?
No, Skip,
doubt.
But here's the thing, is that for the most part, you're asking guys that's never played defense to play defense later in their years. Carmelo was never a defender, Skip. How you going to ask him? He's 6 months older than LeBron. Russ has never been a defender.
Nope.
He can't. That's not what Monk's forte is. That's not what Dwight Howard's really your only defender, and he came in last.
I do like Avery Bradley,
Yeah.
but he gives you a 2 for 10 last night.
Right.
So he's hurting you on offense while trying to help a little on defense.
Right. He did a great job. They did a better job of controlling Ja, but it was a Skip. They got 6 guys in double figures. You got Kyle Anderson had 14, Jared Jackson had 21, Bane 23, Ja had 16, and then you get 2 guys off the bench with 12 and 14.
Okay, so what did I see in the quarters you talked about, the second and third quarters? I saw Memphis win those 2 quarters 80-56.
Yeah.
And I saw a Memphis team that was simply quicker and faster and younger on offense versus your defense.
Right.
They got whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted.
Whatever.
And it was sweet ball movement. It's sort of Kyle Anderson playing point forward or whatever. He just sort of initiates things. And all of a sudden the ball gets kicked, little bounce pass, layup. They're just getting layups. And after a while I said, this is an embarrassment because with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, you were down 29 at home to a team without Dylan Brooks or Steven Adams.
Yeah.
That is horrendously, dangerously bad. That's the worst sign I have seen all year for a team that you have been on the fence about whether they can even make the playoffs.
Skip, in the second quarter, Malik Monk was 0 of 4. Avery Bradley was 1 of 4. Russ was 1 of 3. Carmelo was 1 of 3. Austin Reeves was 1 of 2. So they were 9 of 24, and LeBron made 4 shots. And the rest of the guys that participated only made 5 shots.
Okay. And there were a number of times last night when there'd be a turnover or a bad miss, and LeBron would just give it up, and he wouldn't even run back on defense. No. Okay? And as you said, well, you got to pace yourself because you're all you got on offense,
Right.
so he's got to sort of conserve some of his energy for offense.
Because Skip, you see what happens. The moment he goes out of the game, however he left it, if they were down by 10, when he comes back on the court, they're going to be down 18-20.
Okay, and I know you don't want to hear this, but the damnedest thing happened in the fourth quarter. Your Lakers, minus LeBron, went on one of the incredible runs I've ever witnessed. And I started to get a little bit nervous because they cut it from 29 all the way down to 7 with 1:16 left, which is still doable. And guess what it forced the interim coach of the Memphis Grizzlies? He had to put all the starters back in. They'd been sitting for the whole fourth quarter, which is a little dangerous because something can pull, obviously. But Ja and company, they all came back in. And Ja actually got a questionable foul call from Bazemore that sent him to the line, and he made 1 free throw, and that was actually all they just needed to break the ice because they just couldn't score.
Right.
And you know who was leading them? All of a sudden, it's Wayne Ellington and Austin Reeves. They're just going crazy on Memphis's backups.
Well, Skip, look, you're going to tell me Wayne Ellington going to shoot like that? I say put him in the lineup.
Okay.
But I didn't really look at it. Even though I saw that they got it down to, like you said, 7 from 26. I was like, It's over.
Okay, there was only one player who could match Memphis's quickness and youthful energy, and it was Austin Reeves. That kid is a player,
he can
undrafted.
Play. He can play.
Just flat out play.
He can play
because he plays so hard and he plays smart. And he's not a great shooter, but he can just make shots around the basket, right? And he ignited this charge. And I thought if they were going to pull off this charge, it was going to be the greatest comeback in NBA history. But they fell short.
Well, they can't play defense. They can't make shots when they need to. Russ was 6 of 26 over the weekend. He only had 3 turnovers in 3 games, but they were 0-2 in the last 3 games.
It's going to be a long year for you.
I've told you that. I've been told you that.
We already knew that.
Yeah, I'm resigned to that fact. I got, hey, I just got to take it.
LeBron can't do it all.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.